Good evening, everyone. It's wine o'clock again here at the Wine Man's. Tonight's wine, it's another cheeky little Australian one. This is the Bull Ant Shiraz from Langhorn Creek. Langhorn Creek is in South Australia, and this is made by the Follett family. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this wine. We're going to try it and see what it is, and I'm going to tell you why this particular Shiraz is especially good, and especially good for the vintage, which is the 2017 vintage. So, let's start with the Follett family. So Greg Follett, he went and studied winemaking in France and also in California, and then he returned back to the family vineyard where he made sure that they had premium grapes planted. And he then selected only the very, very best fruit to make what he considers the very, very best wines. Now, these are regarded as a boutique winery. Lake Breeze is the grower, is the winery, should I say. And they make classical wines from Cabernet Merlots to Shiraz to all sorts of different goodies. And I'm going to be tasting and testing them as we go through. So, Bull Ant, quite an interesting little one because obviously there's lots of these big fellas flying all around Australia. And they are very, very true to the origins of the fruit and of the style and the sophistication that you get with some incredible Australian wines. So this Lake Breeze Bull Ant is no different. So what you have is 2017 was an interesting vintage, especially in this particular area, because they had a lot of floods that created an awful lot of problems. But with careful management of the vineyard, Greg and the team managed to make sure that everything was at perfect condition when it came to the harvest. So let's have a look at this. Look at the colour here. Very, very dark, a typical Shiraz colour. Really, really intense. Lovely purpley sort of edge to it. And this is 100% Shiraz. And it is grown at the single estate. So it's quite remarkable. So premium viticulture area where they look after everything in an incredibly passionate way. The average age of the vines, it's about 25 years old, but the oldest vines are about 35 years old. And what happens is when you have a young vine, it produces loads and loads of fruit, but the quality of the fruit is not actually that good. So as you get older, a little bit like me, you get more sophisticated, you get more mature, you're not as vigorous as you maybe used to be, and you don't produce as much fruit, but the quality of that fruit is absolutely outstanding. And that is what you want and what you get with older vines. Much less yield, but much, much higher quality. So this is quite lucky because it is based on a lake, Lake Alexandrina, and that allows the vines to have natural irrigation, but also a little breeze that comes through and that just chills them from the Australian heat. It's a lovely, lovely wine. I mean, it's rich, it's opulent, it's spicy as you would expect with a good Aussie Shiraz. It's got plum, it's got chocolate, it's got mocha characteristics, it's got a sort of a black pepper characteristic, which if you think about it, should not necessarily be very nice, but in this wine, wow, it's beautiful. I mean, in the aromas, you know, they're all there because 16 months in oak cask before it's actually released, as well as time in bottle. And it's quite it's quite interesting because it allows the tannins to just be soft and silky and lovely. Now, what will it go with? Well, I'm going to try it with a fillet steak tonight, so I'm really looking forward to this. But I think it would just pretty much go with anything. It would go with barbecue, it would go with good friends, it would go with bad friends that you want to impress and just make them feel inadequate because they don't have lovely wines like you do. So I am going to really, really recommend the Bull Ant Shiraz. It's not even on the website yet, but I will make sure it's on there in the next day or two. Cheers for that.